Hi there, welcome to a special Treehouse tutorial all around home learning. Hopefully both children and parents will find this one useful. Well, I don't know about you, but it really hasn't been easy, has it? Turning the home into a place of learning, trying to make home like school, it's not really natural to any of us, to be honest. I just want to make it really clear from the start that our physical health and our mental health are of the greatest importance at the moment. But let's dive into this. Let's have a look. Each of these letters are going to stand for a phrase. So the H, let's see, what does H stand for? H is for high expectations. Right, so high expectations. Children, you know that at school we have high expectations of you as staff. We know that you have high expectations of yourselves, you have high expectations of us. I'm encouraging you now at home to have high expectations of yourself, to be able to say to yourself, well, I can concentrate, I can put my head down for the next 30 minutes and I can get through this maths lesson or this English lesson. It's about having those high expectations of yourselves, children, to make sure that you can still be productive in the way that you would have been at school. We can be concentrating, we can be focused, and we can get this done. I always say to my classes, we always talk about this work hard, play hard idea. Get the work done in the morning and then get on with some other things later on in the day. So let's have a look now at the letter O. What does O stand for? O is for organised learning. Okay, organised learning. As a school, we have sent out some suggested timetables. You may or may not want to stick to that, but that's one way that you could organise your day of home learning. If you want to create your own timetable, brilliant, that's fantastic. And then you can take control and manage that organisation yourselves. The other thing that we need to think about is a place where we are going to learn. Where is that place in the house that we can sit down and it can feel as close to as possible, feel like your school desk. Perhaps not the place like right next to your Xbox. Also, when it comes to the work, many of you will not have a huge amount of equipment at home. I know that we found that a difficulty at home. So even if you've just got a pencil and a paper, you can still be completing home learning quite effectively. But then it's perhaps organising that and thinking, well, where am I going to store these afterwards? Try and invest in a simple file, just getting yourself a lined book. Just organising that learning allows you to be able to look back on it the way that you have done previously when you've been in school. The next letter, the M, what does the M stand for? M is for managed emotions. Okay, so this is one that I'm smiling about at the moment, but I'm only smiling about it because there's been a number of stories already in my household that would link into M. Managed emotions. How do we manage our emotions? And I am talking just as much as an adult and as a parent here as I would be in terms of about my children. It's really difficult at the moment to be managing all of our emotions, especially when we're expected to try and get on with some work when we're not at school and when things are different. That's really difficult. This one really links into that mental health side of things. I would encourage you to be naming your emotions, to be talking about your emotions. Sometimes we just don't feel like working on a particular day. And I'm sure that your parents will be telling you, children, that sometimes they don't feel like working on a particular day, but sometimes we need to get on with it and get through that. And then sometimes we can get great satisfaction from that. I would hope that things like this, if you are organised and you're following a timetable and you are simply doing small chunks, bite-sized chunks of learning, that would help you to manage your emotions. We're not expecting you to work for hours and hours and hours on one task, but if you do bite-sized chunks, then the expectation would be that you could manage those emotions and you could manage that work by doing a 30-minute chunk here or a 15-minute chunk here and just a small amount of work before we go off and do the other things. Okay. What about E? What could E stand for? E is for electronic communication. Okay, so electronic communication. This is something where we've been really passionate about as a school. Mrs. Smith has worked tirelessly on sending out lots and lots of information to children, to parents, and also you've sent loads into us, which is the whole point of it, so that we can share that out. This is a way that we can maintain that communication and that relationship with each other, really. I heard something interesting the other day that was that I really liked. We've talked a lot about social distancing. I'm sure you've all heard of that phrase, social distancing, this idea of staying 2 metres apart at least from each other. See, there was somebody who was criticising that, saying, I don't think it should be called social distancing. I think it should be called physical distancing, because we should be physically separating ourselves from each other. But actually socially we should stay in touch, and that's what I would say to anybody who's going to be doing home learning at home for the next few weeks and possibly even longer. The electronic communication is so important to keep in touch with us. Don't become socially distanced from us. Yes, we have to be physically distanced, but don't become socially distant from us. Keep in touch and let us know and give us those questions so that we can keep that relationship going online, and we can still be your teachers online. We'll go back over this now. We've got H is for high expectations, O is for organised learning, M is for managed emotions, and E is for electronic communication. Right, there's nothing official about this, I just made it up. Okay, but I think that it will hopefully be useful for us all to be considering as we get back into our home learning at the start of June, many of us. Okay, and I hope that this is going to be useful to you. Okay, see ya.